Welcome back to TMNtv News and happy Valentine's Day. I'm Alicia Fireherm and the date is February 14th, 2022. Here's a look at the recent news. Just a reminder, the scholarship application for next school year is due tomorrow, February 15th. The application can be found online at fhsu.academicworks.com. After filling out the general application, you will automatically be matched to other scholarships that you may be eligible for. The Health and Wellness Center has created a new support and study group for students who identify as being neurodivergent. Our reporters Kerrigan Hutton and Reagan Neufeld spoke to the sponsor and a member.
I would say neurodivergence just kind of means that a person's brain might learn or process information a little bit differently than what is considered typical or neurotypical. Some of these individuals might hit developmental milestones at different times. And originally the term was used specifically for people with autism, and then over time it kind of became an umbrella term for individuals with autism, ADHD, Tourette's, dyslexia, different things like that. So from my side, some of the things that we kind of work through are some of these students have a hard time socializing with their peers and figuring out how to socialize with their peers. It's not something that is inherently just you know how to do. It's more of a learned skill. Sometimes it's learning different skills, how to act in the classroom. Sometimes it's daily living skills. Sometimes it's ways on how to be more successful academically, how to take proper notes, how to relieve test anxiety, what steps you should take an exam. A lot of things that are just either just learned. It just takes a little bit longer to learn those skills, but definitely things that they can always do, just need an extra push sometimes.
Yeah. It also depends on like how the student works. Like I don't have a hard time socializing with my peers. And I have like a huge friend group here. And they're learning everything to know about me and how I work. And then like there's some people who are like, what the heck is going on with you? I don't understand what's going on. Can you explain what's happening? And so basically it's just like, not many people sometimes take the time to understand how a neurodivergent person works.
I was wanting to just foster like a safe atmosphere for students to be able to come, feel comfortable, talking with each other, meeting other students that are like them, as well as just having a space where they're comfortable to ask questions like, hey, I'm struggling with this, I don't know how to do this, can you help me? Just being able to build that safe atmosphere for students.
If you are interested in joining, please contact the Health and Wellness Center. Tigers in Service is a campus organization focused on both civic engagement and linking the campus and Hayes community. They recently held Operation Kindness in the Union last week. I was able to be there and I have the story for that. Tigers in Service handed out encouraging notes to students in the Union on February 8th. I spoke with the director of Tigers in Service, Quinn Monk, about the event.
So Tigers in Service, so we are focused on civic engagement and bridging the community with the campus. And so my job primarily is to create service events so that people, specifically Fort Hays students, can get involved, getting service hours, getting connections on campus, and just learning really what it means to be a civic leader. And so today we are doing Operation Kindness, and we have all of these fun little just encouraging note cards just to randomly pass out, and then hopefully they can pay it forward by spreading the kindness. Honestly, just being nice and giving them something that people want, because sometimes people will be like, no thank you, but this is words of encouragement, of kindness. So literally just spreading more kindness on campus.
For more information about the organization, visit their Tiger Link page or follow them on Instagram at Tigers in Service. For Tiger Media Network, I'm Alicia Fireherm. This week's weather is mostly sunny with highs in the high 60s and lows around the 20s. Tomorrow has a good chance of being the warmest day of the entire week, as highs will come in close to 70 degrees. However, Wednesday and Thursday could bring potentially chills, as high are only around the 40s and lows dip below 20 degrees at night. These 2 days will be mostly cloudy. The rest of the week brings back the sun, with Friday through Sunday having highs around the 60s and the lowest low coming in around the 30s. These forecasts might foreshadow an early coming of the spring this year. The weather report will change throughout the week, so stay up to date with KWCH.com.
My name is Allie, and I'm a senior business major at Fort Hays. I love working for TMN. It has made me a more experienced photographer and really helped me professionally due to all the changing environments and the different opportunities. I've also been able to meet and talk to a lot of people, which has helped bring me on my show.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
The average person uses around 100 gallons of water per day. With only 3% of the water on Earth being freshwater, it is important to be mindful of how much you are using. Turning off the sink while you are brushing your teeth is an easy way to conserve water. It is also important to never leave running water unattended. Replacing leaky faucets is another easy way to cut down on water usage. Also, adjusting the load size on your washing machine will ensure that water is not being wasted. Do your part to help conserve water.
Teachers today are finding new ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable.
Hello Tigers, I'm Caden Sanders here to give you your weekly sports update. It was another busy week for Fort Hays Athletics. We'll take a look at basketball first. The women's basketball team had a full schedule this past week as they started out on Monday in Tahlequah, Oklahoma against Northeastern State in a rescheduled game. The Tigers were defeated by the Riverhawks 67-58 after getting off to a slow start. Olivia Hollenbeck was the leading scorer for Fort Hays on Monday with 12 points, followed by Jaden Hobbs and Jessie Salek, who had 10 each. However, the Tigers were able to bounce back Thursday night at home against Rogers State. Head coach Tony Hobson said that his team needed to play with more energy and urgency than they did on Monday, and they did. Two key aspects of the game were points scored in the paint and points scored by non-starters, which totaled 36 and 43 respectively. Hollenbeck again led the team, scoring with 14 points. Katie Dilsaver had 12 and Whitney Randall had 11. The Tigers then faced Northeastern State again on Saturday, this time winning 78-59 behind an all-around solid performance. A big part of Fort Hays' performance was their three-point shooting as they shot 57.1% from beyond the arc. They also grabbed 16 steals on the day. The men's basketball team competed in two games this past weekend. The Tigers competed in Gross Memorial on Thursday, competing against Rogers State Hillcats. The Tigers had cruised to an easy win of 62-47. The contribution of Jared Vitsom helped the Tigers to a win as he collected a double-double with 18 points and 12 rebounds. The Tigers were back in action on Saturday against Northeastern State Riverhawks. The Tigers were in the lead for most of the game, but the game was way too close for the Tigers' comfort until the second part of the second half, as the Tigers beat the Riverhawks 66-57. The team was led by Nige Wright and Jared Vitsom with 14 and 12 points. The Tigers are back in action tonight against the Lincoln Blue Tigers at 5 p.m. at Gross Memorial. The Tigers will be continuing their week on the road against Lincoln and Central Missouri Thursday and Saturday. The wrestling team competed in two duels this past weekend as they took on the third best team in the nation in Nebraska Kearney at home in Gross Memorial Coliseum. The Tigers were unable to get any team points scored as the Lopers and Tigers against the Lopers, as the Tigers would suffer another huge loss, 35-0 at home. The Tigers had a short time to recover as they finished up the regular season at Central Missouri. The Tigers would have a better luck against the Mules, but would fall short by 1 point that came from a pin in the final stretch of the lineup. The baseball team is back in action this past weekend against Drury. The Tigers struggled in Ozark, Missouri, as the Tigers would get blown out 10-4 and 13-0 in their first of 2 doubleheaders on Friday. And then on Sunday, they had 2 doubleheaders again, as Drury continued to dominate the Tigers as they won 11-3 and 19-7. The Tigers will be back in action at home against Regis on Friday at Larks Park starting at 3 p.m. The softball team is back in action this past weekend in Edmond, Oklahoma for one of 2 tournaments that they're competing in. The Tigers had a doubleheader on Friday against Southern Nazarene and Oklahoma Christian. The Tigers would drop both of those games by a score of 14-9 and 9-1. On Saturday, the Tigers competed against Cameron and Midwestern, and the Tigers lost a close game to the Aggies 7-4, and the Tigers turned the weekend around by finishing the weekend with a 5-4 victory. TMN's Dylan Sweetheart talked to Coach Pilkington about the outlook of the season.
Upcoming, we're starting a lot of young kids, which is really nice for our future. We're going to have a lot of talent coming through our program here. They'll get a lot of games early on when they're young in their careers, so they kind of get broke in a little bit quick. So we're excited for the season. We want to build off our conference record as of last year. We were contending there in the top half with a chance at first till the last weekend out. So that's what we're setting our sights on and our goals towards, and make sure that we're competing in the MIAA and doing a nice job, putting one game at a time. As for players to kind of look out for, we do have a couple, returning pretty prolific offensive players for us. So Sarah Breckbill is a 5th-year senior, so a COVID senior. She's been a 3-time all-conference player for us. We obviously didn't get to play conference in the COVID season, so she's 3 for 3 there. So she's a nice player for us offensively and defensively. You'll see her a little bit behind the plate and then at first base as well. Mostly she hits in the 4-hole for us. Our next one is Jess Espinoza, who's also a senior this year, and she is our leadoff and our center fielder currently. So she does a nice job. You're not going to see a lot of power numbers from her, but you're going to see her getting on base a lot and doing some good things offensively to create some runs for us. We've got a lot of young kids mixed in, so they're all going to get a lot of different time at the plate, but those are some of our older kids that have made an impact so far.
So, I don't know, I'm excited to see how they do. I think we have a lot of talent on our team, so it's just a matter of coming together as a team and, performing well the way we know that we can.
I also think a lot of teams may underestimate us because we're so young, but they probably don't realize the talent we do have being so young.
This season and last season are really different because last season we graduated 10. We lost 10 girls. So then this year we had to bring on a lot of freshmen, so that's a lot different of a dynamic than it was last year. Last year there was a lot more leadership, and this year there's a lot of younger girls that need our leadership.
I know they're probably super nervous going into their first games, and even when we start conference they're going to be nervous, but just letting them know it's the same game they've been playing since they were probably 10 years old, and that they just have to keep doing what they're doing, and we're always all here for them.
Yeah, just reminding them that it's the same thing we've been doing forever and we love this game. And I think something that I struggled with a lot when I was just younger was that I didn't feel maybe I belonged at this level, but just reminding them that you're here for a reason and you wouldn't be here if you weren't for it.
And finally, the football team is entering their spring workouts. Corbin Ingram takes a look inside the football team's off-season training for this upcoming season.
Hard, motivate each other to rap, hold each other accountable, rap, coach each other to rap, get on and challenge each other.
Last year I made $7 million, didn't have to do a single show. Should I tool my up at Coca-Cola for the check that cut me at the Super Bowl? On my life moments is a Super Bowl. Like Dr. Dre, he got a Super Bowl. Last night I was texting Jack Dorsey, that's the perks you get from being super dope. This is real life, ain't no act in it. All these raps, they be Brad Pitt. Every little thing I do is mad different. Got my little cousin playing badminton. Gave my little bro a quick 50 piece, he got the whole trap hitting. I've been stacking up all these assets, can be conducting any bad business. Whoa, hey, I keep that drip on me. I'm big homie. Hey, I can't ever slip homie. My mama might flip on me. Whoa, hey, drop top coupe in the summer. I rest my case hey, I'ma live life life to the fullest with every single breath I take. Let me tell you something real quick. Hey, you can suck my get cold every time that you touch my wrist. I'm the greatest, can't play with this. My pull up in them Chevys and Beamers. We all young and rich, you can't check my demeanor. I just bought a Birkin for my Aunt Regina.
That's all the time we have this week. Come back next week and we'll do it all again, bringing you Tiger Athletics. After the break, Alicia will return with more news.
My name is Allie and I'm a senior business major at Fort Hays. I love working for TMN. It has made me a more experienced photographer and really helped me professionally due to all the changing environments and the different opportunities. I've also been able to meet and talk to a lot of people, which has helped bring me out of my shell.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
The average person uses around 100 gallons of water per day. With only 3% of the water on Earth being freshwater, it is important to be mindful of how much you are using. Turning off the sink while you are brushing your teeth is an easy way to conserve water. It is also important to never leave running water unattended. Replacing leaky faucets is another easy way to cut down on water usage. Also, adjusting the load size on your washing machine will ensure that water is not being wasted. Do your part to help conserve water.
Teachers today are finding new ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable.
Burrow trying to keep it going, gets spun down, gets it away, and incomplete. It looked like P-Ryan might have had a shot to make the grab, but the Rams now.
Welcome back. Last night, the LA Rams won the 56th annual Super Bowl against the Cincinnati Bengals with a score of 23-20. This win for the Rams broke a 22-year run with no Super Bowl title and spawned a new record for head coach Sean McVay for youngest coach to win a Super Bowl. The excitement of the game lasted up to the 42nd mark of the fourth quarter when the Bengals were at the 4th and 1 at the Rams' 49-yard line. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow could not save the day for his team, and he was sacked for his 7th and final time by defensive tackle Aaron Donald. Let's take a look at this winning moment for the Rams, courtesy of the NFL Twitter page.
Burrow trying to keep it going, gets spun down, gets it away, and incomplete. It looked like P-Ryan might have had a shot to make the grab, but the Rams now.
Donald later said in an interview with NBC that the defensive saying strain was going through his head and that it would be his last play to be world champs. An emotional Donald commented on his team's win last night.
The best feeling in the world, man. God is great. God is great. I'm lost for words. I don't know what to say. This is a blessing. This is a blessing.
In other news related to yesterday's big game is the Pepsi halftime show, starring Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, and Dr. Dre, with a surprise performance from 50 Cent. Songs from the early 2000s, such as The Next Episode by Snoop Dogg and Lose Yourself by Eminem, were performed. Moments that are memorable to fans was the group of artists standing in a superhero formation that resembles Marvel's The Avengers, or artist 50 Cent hanging upside down from the set. Eminem also had a moment during the show where he took a knee to symbolize standing with the Black Lives Matter movement. The NFL said in an interview that they were aware Eminem would be kneeling after his performance. To watch the entire performance, you can find it on the NFL's YouTube page. The halftime performance is currently #1 on trending on YouTube. And back to campus news. Black History Month is here, and to celebrate, the Black Student Union and Student Engagement teamed up for a family feud and soul food night. Reporter Kerrigan Hutton has the story.
Last Tuesday in the Cody Commons, the Black Student Union held a family feud/soul food night. The menu consisted of fried chicken, mashed potatoes, pasta, and apple pie, a favorite among guests. Black Student Union's very own president, Danzel Major, emceed. He charmed the crowd and let everyone be able to laugh at themselves, as well as learn more about Black history.
People need to understand that Black history is also American history. And so without knowing your Black history, you kind of lose out on a lot of American history. So that's what I hope people learn from tonight, that there's still a lot more learning to go.
The night was filled with laughter, learning, and a lot of love. I'm Kerrigan Hutton for TMN.
Thank you, Kerrigan. A food truck will be on campus in front of Sheridan Hall on Friday the 18th from 11:30 to 1:30 to promote a good cause. Part of the proceeds will go to the Ellis County United Way campaign. United Way is an organization that works to better communities by improving the local education, income, and health. There are also cookies being sold in the Union throughout this week for $1, which will also go towards the funds for the United Way. Another local cause that you can support is the shoe drive currently being put on by the Humane Society of the High Plains. TMN reporter Liz Steck stopped by and can tell us more.
The Humane Society of the High Plains is currently hosting a shoe drive that started January 10th and goes through March 10th. The shoe drive, which is being done in place of their usual Super Bowl fundraiser, is going through a company called Funds for Orgs, which provides the funding needed to provide medical care for the animals. Funds for Orgs provides funds based on the number of shoes donated. These new or gently worn shoes are then sent around the world to impoverished nations, so the impact of the shoe drive can be felt not only in the Hayes community through the Humane Society, but also around the world. In addition to donating shoes, anyone is able to go volunteer at any time at the Humane Society. They have not only stray dogs, but also puppies and cats that they need help taking care of and finding homes for. If you're interested in donating shoes, there's a drop-off location at the Hayes Public Library or at the Humane Society. Their goal is to collect 2,500 pairs of shoes by March 10th, so it's time to clean out your closet and stop by the Humane Society of the High Plains. With Tiger Media Network, this is Liz Steck.
Thanks, Liz. If you're still looking for something to do this evening for Valentine's Day, there are a couple of options for you right here in Hayes. Starting at 5 o'clock, there's dinner for two being served at the Hilton Garden Inn on 43rd Street. The meal consists of 4 courses, starting with a salad, then bacon-wrapped shrimp, followed by either a KC strip steak or chicken Alfredo, with a berry and cream-filled chocolate torte for dessert. A reservation for dinner is recommended. The other option for tonight is a show and dessert at the Hayes Community Theater. Located on 8th Street, the show is a special play called Love Letters, which tells the story of a relationship between two people throughout their lives. The show will be different than a typical play, as the actors will just be reading letters to each other back and forth. Tickets can be purchased for $15 on the theater's website. The doors open at 7 o'clock tonight, and the show will begin at 7:30. Speaking of Valentine's Day, the This or That series is back with another installment, this time to find out what students prefer for gifts, chocolate or flowers. TMN's Tierney McGivney has their answers.
Hi, I'm Tierney McGivney here with Tiger Media, and today we're going to be doing This or That, Chocolate or Roses, Valentine's Day edition. This or That, Chocolate or Roses?
Definitely roses.
Do you have a reason why?
There's just something really cool about getting flowers as a gift, I think, so roses.
Chocolate or roses?
Definitely chocolate.
Do you have a reason why?
It's yummy.
Chocolate or roses?
I would have to say chocolate just because I'm a big fan of dark chocolate.
Chocolate or roses?
Roses.
Why?
Girls like them more.
Chocolate or roses?
Roses.
Do you have a reason why?
They're flowers and they smell good.
Chocolate or roses?
Roses.
Do you have a reason why?
They make me feel special.
Chocolate or roses?
Chocolate.
Why?
Because you can eat it. Roses die.
Chocolate or roses?
Chocolate.
Why?
Because it's food.
Chocolate or roses?
Chocolate.
Do you have a reason why?
You can eat chocolate, you can't eat roses.
Chocolate or roses?
Chocolate.
Do you have a reason why?
I like chocolate a lot, so if I'm going to give anybody chocolate, it's going to be chocolate.
Chocolate or roses?
Chocolate.
Do you have a reason why?
I like chocolate. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Chocolate or roses?
Definitely chocolate.
Do you have a reason why?
Chocolate is my go-to happy snack, so that's why.
Chocolate or roses?
Chocolate.
Do you have a reason why?
You can eat chocolate, not roses.
Chocolate or roses?
Chocolate.
Roses.
Oh god.
Do you have a reason why?
I don't really like chocolate.
Flowers die either way. I'll let you mind.
Chocolate or roses?
Roses.
Do you have a reason why?
I just like flowers.
Chocolate or roses?
Chocolate for sure.
Okay, do you have a reason why?
No, because it's food actually.
Chocolate or roses?
Roses.
Do you have a reason why?
I don't eat chocolate very much.
Chocolate or roses?
Roses.
Do you have a reason why?
I don't like chocolate.
Chocolate or roses?
Chocolate, because everyone loves chocolate.
Chocolate or roses?
Chocolate.
Do you have a reason why?
Roses die, but chocolate is forever in my belly.
Chocolate or roses?
Roses.
Do you have a reason why?
Chocolate's nasty.
Thank you, Tierney. It looks like that's all we have for this week. To stay up to date on campus, state, and national news, visit tigermedianet.com, as well as our social media pages. Thanks for watching. I'm Alicia Fireherm, and I'll see you next time.